Okay, we're gonna start at the Flamingo, right over top of the Flamingo. And we're gonna walk to Gold Coast. No, we're gonna walk to Palms, but we'll probably just shut it off at Rio because you'll get the gist of it. Just want to show what it's like to make the walk from the Strip to those three hotels: Palms, Gold Coast, and Rio. A lot of paving going on for the Formula One race. It's really been a mess. At least they've got this area over here back going. It's been a real problem. Yeah, this is all open. Well, no, not all of it. They got one lane open. It's ridiculous. They're not working on the other lanes. Look. Somebody put a can of Bud Light next to that homeless person. I mean, well, that's kind of funny. That's kind of cruel, too. Really? Come on, man. They probably got their picture taken next to her. That was creative, though, you know? You got to give them some points for creativity. It's another entrance to Caesar's Palace. And it's weird because it's going the opposite way you think it would go. The two lanes over there are heading east when they should be pointed west. I don't know. Something to do with the flow of traffic out here, I guess.
Come on!
You pull
dude,
up here,
shut the
I
fuck
guess.
up and come on, let's go back to the hotel. Come on.
That's not the first drunk person I've ever seen. You're only as good as your weakest link. If one person in your party is too drunk to cooperate, you're all screwed. Because if you put them in the room and you think everything's fine, Go down to the casino, and that sumbitch will be crawling down on the floor right next to you in the casino. And you say, oh man. So you'd have to handcuff them to the bed. And I think that's illegal. It's actually kidnapping. Shouldn't be, but yeah, you're not supposed to be able to do that. So another way you can get to Rio is take Sammy Davis. I did that the other night, and it was a big mistake because I had to crawl over that guardrail down up there. Well, I didn't crawl over it. I stepped over it. But it's just the right height where it's stepping over it is a little awkward. Bellagio. Massive hotel. Caesars is a massive hotel. This whole section right here was an empty shell for the longest time when they were trying to figure out if the economy was gonna tank or not. In 2008, and I think it stayed empty for 8 more years. Something like that. A lot of deals are made and broken, and people lose millions and walk away from a project because they didn't want to lose hundreds of millions. On the news, the local news today already are saying that the Oakland A's, there's something squirmy about the property that they supposedly bought over on Tropicana, because the story today was back to the old story that they're talking to the Tropicana Hotel about knocking it down, which is I find that hard to believe. I wonder what happened. I'll let you know when I know. Some of those views that you get from those Aria condos is actually pretty crappy. At least you can see the Rio, which is the prettiest hotel from afar. The saying goes, good from afar. When you get up close, it's far from good. Actually, I think the Rio is fine. They probably do need to remodel their rooms. I haven't been in one of those rooms in decades, so I can't say. I know they've got that weird porthole in the shower that looks out into the bedroom. I didn't know the city bus took the interstate. Wow. I've never seen one on it when I'm on it. I'm not on it often because I can't stand it. Technology should be better. Look at this. No traffic. I don't have a walk light. And I got to take the walk anyway. It should sense the fact that nobody's coming and let me have a walk light. And those people over there really should have had the turn light. If somebody can figure that out. Maybe AI. Since he's so damn smart, see if he can figure out how to work traffic. That guy on that little crotch rocket was going well over 100. This is where it takes a weird turn because of this ramp, this on-ramp over here. I'm not sure why it couldn't just go straight. It'd have to be a little higher, I guess, to make a clearance for all the taller vehicles. Because if they're tall and if they're on the interstate, you got to let them get off with the same height requirements. I think it's 15 something. Maybe it's 17 something. I'm surprised there's not homeless sleeping in here. Oh yeah, they'd have to walk too far to do whatever they do. This walk seems longer than it is because you're not seeing a casino and a casino and a casino, because you can walk down the strip and all of a sudden you've walked, if you go round trip, you've walked 8 miles and you don't even know it. And then the third day of your trip, you're so sore you can hardly walk, because you don't do that in your hometown, obviously. Who does? But there's a lot of walking going on in Las Vegas that you don't even think about, unless you check into one hotel and that's where you stay and that's where you lay out at the pool and that's where you gamble. Most people actually get out and walk. So this walk is really about like walking from Caesars to Encore, which will not seem long at all because you see so much on your trip. So all of a sudden you're at your destination. That's the Orleans way over there, that white building. That's Tropicana. There's the Raiders Stadium, Allegiant Stadium. Doesn't show up real good at night. That's where I came up the other day and I had to climb those rocks. I had ropes and stuff in my backpack. I'm always prepared. Then on the way home, I rappelled down. Ooh, my last Rio video, one of my captions had it spelled R-E-O, like REO Speedwagon. Some intern in my Burbank studios did that. And they are no longer on my staff. I won't have any misspellings. That's just not, it's not part of my brand. I bet it's 99% of the people that walk this way take an Uber back or a Lyft. Probably should. I'm not doing that though. I deleted that from my phone. There's Penn and Teller. Boy, they've had a residency here forever. I don't know where Teller lives, but they showed where Penn lives. He lives out in the desert in a Rubik's Cube looking house. I have to look that up and see if there's a YouTube video of it. I think I saw it on some documentary. Really cool house. At the time, there was no one near him. Nobody. You're not guaranteed, though, when you move way out that that's going to be the case. All of a sudden, there'll be a neighborhood near you. And if you're Steph Curry, you make a stop to that because you want to be left alone. You're a superstar. You don't need common people around you. So that's how far it is. Pretty much that's... So if you're going into Rio, obviously you kind of would walk this way because it's really not a sidewalk. There's a lot of that going on. You actually would walk across here and then walk in. I just did a video of Rio just a couple days ago, so I'm not going in there. I'm going to the Palms because I did a video in the Palms and somehow one of my files got corrupted, so it was incomplete. And that was on a Friday night. Now I'm on a Tuesday night and it's not going to be as good. I'm going to mix them together. The thing about these scooters and these e-bikes, if you're walking on the sidewalk, you absolutely do not hear them coming up behind you. And a lot of people are wearing earbuds. So I'm surprised I don't read about more. Well, I'm not reading shit, but I don't hear about more accidents from scooters and e-bikes. Maybe they just don't talk about them because it's not exciting. So they have a bike rental plan in the city of Las Vegas, and it starts way up at the Strat, which is in the city of Las Vegas. That's the first casino on the strip that's actually in the city. So they've got bike rental. You can get a regular pedal bike for $15 a month. And if you say, well, that doesn't sound that good, it's not that great of a bike. The problem is if you own your bike, it's going to get stolen every time you ride it. So it's a lot cheaper than buying a new bike every other day. I mean, bikes are stolen. If the bike's not stolen, the seat and the wheel, anything that's on it that's not part of the real good lock is stolen immediately. And the only way that would stop if the city council members were bike riders or the county commissioners were bike riders. All of a sudden we'd have a place to lock them up and they'd have a guard there. But, you know, they don't care about people that they don't care about. So anyway, that bike rental, if you pay $1 extra, I don't know if it's $1 extra per day or whatever, it can be an electric bike. But anyway, you'd say you take that bike and you take it to a different station and you just roll it up on a rack and it automatically locks, and then someone else comes over with their code and they might ride that bike a minute after you put it in there. And then when you go do your things and you come back, then you may get a different bike, or your same bike might be there. But then your time starts over. You just can't ride. You can't keep the bike more than an hour. So if you got to ride somewhere 45 minutes, no problem. Put it up. Go in, do what you do. If you're in the place for 4 hours, no problem. Come out and your time starts over. So even though it is a rental, it's still worth it, in my opinion. I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna put a camera mount on it and see what it looks like to ride downtown. Okay, I think I've shown you how to walk from the Caesars Flamingo area to Rio, Gold Coast, Palms. And now I'm going to start a new video in Palms. That's all I got to say about that.